Hi everyone, my name is Regina and welcome to my channel. For those of you who know me, you'll know that I've wanted to start a channel for ages now. But you know those projects that you've planned in your head for so long, but then you become afraid to execute it because it's so perfect in your head? Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's like. But the reason why I wanted to start a YouTube channel is because I felt like it was such a wonderful way to keep learning, and I've been able to make such wonderful friends along the way. What I hope this channel can be is just a collection of my thoughts, my favorites, things that I feel like have made my life better, and for me to push myself to keep growing and learning. And I'm so excited to be starting this because I feel like I was really nervous about how this would go. It's really weird and nerve-wracking to be talking to a camera by yourself in your room. But if you guys want to come along for the journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. So when I was trying to decide what I wanted my first topic to be, I thought that I would start off with 5 things I do to stay present and grateful. I feel like with today's technology, it's so easy to be constantly anticipating the future or reminiscing over the past. Nobody really likes to stay in the present, but the present is what creates those future and past moments. So I wanted to start off with this, which is the Erin Condren Perpetual Calendar. My best friend Iris actually gave this to me 2 Christmases ago. It's a monthly calendar with a blank line for every single day of the month. And what you're supposed to use it for is to keep track of your anniversaries, birthdays, etc. You're supposed to be able to essentially build this calendar so that you are able to just refer to this for the rest of your life, because it's just filled with birthdays and events that happen on an annual basis. But when she gave it to me, she proposed to have this be a way for me to keep track of things that I'm grateful for every single day, because that's what she had been doing. So I did that for all of 2017 and loved it so much that I bought my own and one for my roommate for 2018. I feel like this has been a really good way for me to keep track of things that I've been doing on a day-to-day basis, because I feel like life just happens so quickly that it's really easy to forget events because it becomes part of your daily life. So of course this is a lot easier to do when you have a really good day, like, oh my gosh, I got to get brunch with my friends and then we went to go sit by the water and did this and did that. So on those days I feel like I definitely have more than one thing to say. But when I'm having a bad day, I feel like it really forces me to think about my day, which I really enjoy, because I think that when we're feeling sad or upset, it's really easy to just focus on those feelings. But life is such a beautiful thing, so when you really sit down and force yourself to think about something good or pick something that you're grateful for, it does put you in a better mood. I do this every night and I feel like it's just a really good way to wrap up the day. So another thing that I like to do is send thank you texts. I don't know if this sounds like lame or like way too professional, but what I like to do is after I grab coffee with someone or dinner or just see them in passing, I like to send them a text message and thank them for their time. I live in New York and I feel like everybody's schedules are always just insanely busy. So whenever someone makes time out of their day to see me, it means a lot. And so I definitely want to thank them for their time, thank them for their energy to come out and see me. And so I like to send them a thank you text. Usually it's comprised of something like, oh my gosh, it was so good to see you, your energy really brightened my day, and I'll pick a topic that we talked about that struck a chord in me, and I feel like it's a really great way for me to really reflect upon those conversations that we have so that I can continue to learn and grow. So the third thing that I like to do is to journal. This is my trusty journal, and I am now realizing how well I actually matched the color of my journal today. But this is just a moleskin notebook that I picked up off of Amazon. As you can see, it is very well loved. There are stains all over it. I am definitely the type of person that has a pretty difficult time like managing my own feelings or understanding my own feelings. I've actually been using this journal since 2014, and as you can tell, it is very well loved. I'm actually really close to finishing it, if you can see right there. I love notebooks, but I don't know if I've ever finished or written in one the way that I have with this one, and so I'm quite proud of that. But I feel like journaling really keeps me in tune with my emotions, keeps me in tune with what's happening in my everyday life. I feel like a lot of the times I'll start off this journal and it'll be a rant and a vent about everything that I'm upset about, but then at the end it always ends with something along the lines of like, but life is short and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and I'm so happy and grateful to be doing all of these things. And so I feel like writing things down is definitely a really good way for me to reflect upon my accomplishments and things that I'm proud of, but also reflect upon the mistakes that I've made and events that have happened in my life that really make me who I am today. I actually really also enjoy carrying this journal with me when I travel, and I try to make it a point to write at least one journal entry every trip that I have. So whether it's, you know, somewhere abroad with my family or a trip with friends or a weekend away, I feel like it's a really good way for me to just be like, wow, life is really great and I'm really happy with the people that I've chosen to spend this time with and the place that I'm at. And so it's just a really fun way for me to keep track. And it's also really fun to like read back on my old entries because I feel like there are emotions or events that I like completely forgotten about, but I've written in great detail, and so it's always fun to reflect and read back on that. Number 4, I know that this might sound a little counterintuitive, but I have always loved photography growing up. So one of the things that makes me really happy is to document the moment. But of course, with today's trend of social media, I think it's really easy to get wrapped up in capturing that perfect moment that you're not even living in the moment. So what I like to do is frame my photo, you know, do my little flat lay, and then put my phone away. I've always enjoyed going through my phone and looking at photos, whether it was like a drink that I had or I saw this really beautiful tree, and sometimes I don't even go out of my way to try to capture it from the perfect angle, but I just wanted to remember how happy that tree made me or how happy this like quote that I read made me. And so I feel like photography is a wonderful thing because it allows you to capture these special moments. I think that there is just something so special about technology that allows us to have a phone where we can take photos and share things with our other friends so easily, and you know, with our family that don't live in the same city as us. I have a little family group chat on WeChat with my aunt and uncle who are in Hong Kong, my parents who are in LA, my cousin who is in Paris, and I feel like it's a really great way for us to be able to like just keep in contact. And I actually have a couple friends who don't use social media. Shocking, I know. And so I think that it's a really great way for me to keep in touch with them, just to send them a photo of like what I ate today or how beautiful the weather is, and it's really fun for them to do the same. So I feel like it's this sharing that makes me grateful that I can keep in contact with family and friends who aren't here, and it's just a fun way for me to keep a memory for myself. But be sure to remember when it's time to put your phone away, because phones can definitely be super distracting. So I guess this is like a 2-in-1 tip where it's like, you know, take your photo to remember the moment, but put it away when you're having conversations. It's so much more meaningful to have conversations in person than it is to have them through texts. And the last thing that I do to stay present and grateful is actually a concept, which is to keep an open mind and not stress about the small things. There are things in this life that are in our control and things that are not, and it's just not healthy to focus on the things that are not in our control, because there is literally nothing we can do about it. I really hate it when I'm spending time with someone and they're just like so fixated on everything that is wrong with the situation instead of looking at the good. More oftentimes than not, plan B is actually the better option than plan A, so it is best to move on and try to think of a happier and healthier solution. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching my very first YouTube video. I hope that at least one of these tips were helpful for you guys. I will be sure to link any of the products that I've mentioned today in the description box below. And don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll be making videos every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye! Yay! I did it! As good as it's gonna get.